State lawmakers created Hawaii's first joint Senate and House Equality Caucus that hopes to identify and address issues in the LGBTQ+ community. The caucus is led by Senator Chris Lee and Representative Adrian Tam.
And session now underway for lawmakers, and Representative Adrian Tam is joining us live this morning to talk about this new caucus. Good morning, Adrian.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Nicole. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, it's a busy time for you at the Capitol, and this is the first time that you guys have formed this. So what's the purpose of this new Equality Caucus?
Yes. So the purpose of this the Equality Caucus is to serve the needs of the LGBTQ+ community. What really inspired us was that there are many caucuses that address the LGBT community in other states. But Hawaii didn't have one. We have a women's caucus, we have a Filipino caucus, and I think that there is a need and room for the LGBTQ+ Equality Caucus.
And Hawaii made history, I believe, the first state to legalize gay marriage here. We're leaders in this type of community. So what are some of the goals now, you think, in this caucus that you hope to accomplish this legislative session?
One of the things that we're hoping to accomplish is to, create more access to HIV prevention and treatment and diagnosis, all the way to just data collecting for the trans community and their needs when it comes to community policing. Last year, the state faced a budget crisis of trying to balance it. And one of the proposals was to cut HIV treatment and prevention from the Department of Health. And there really wasn't a legislative advocacy group fighting for it. We saw the Hawaii Health Harm Reduction Center fighting for it and other outside LGBTQ+ organizations fighting it. Ultimately, we got that funding restored thanks to the work of the legislature. But there really wasn't a group in the legislature fighting for those, fighting against those cuts.
And I know that the budget in general is going to be a big topic, especially with the pandemic going on. I know there is that surplus. Are there any bills that your caucus is specifically pushing for that we can expect to keep an eye out for this session?
Yes, one of those bills would be to collect data from the trans community and how they interact with law enforcement. Another one would be to establish a commission to address the needs of the LGBTQ+ community. We have a commission on fatherhood, we have a commission on the status of women, and I think there is room for a commission to address those needs as well for the community.
And just what are some things the LGBT community is telling you that they want included, besides some of those talking points you just mentioned, including the funding for HIV as well as transgender analysis and data analysis?
So there are many issues that they're fighting for. One of them specifically would be to cover trans medical procedures free from discrimination from insurance companies, all the way to establishing hiring goals for the LGBT community in state government.
Definitely lots of things to think about and talk about this legislative session. Good to see there is more diversity and equality hopefully establishing within our legislature. Representative Adrian Tam, thank you so much for joining us this morning.